Hey guys, so today we're going to be putting a door in this bathroom here, and because of this soffit that's here, this is a basement and the ceilings were already low to begin with, and then there's plumbing and electrical here, so I had to build down a soffit. So this door is pretty short and I can't put a pre-hung 6-panel colonial because I would have to cut so much off the bottom it would be into the panel of the colonial. So I'm going to put a flat slab, but my local building supply doesn't carry pre-hung flat slabs, so we have to make the jambs for this door. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Let's get into it. Alright, so the height that we have is 75. So that will be the very top of the jam is going to be 75. Okay, so here's a colonial 6-panel, and if I measure from the head down, 75 is right about here, and then we got to allow for the jamb itself and then the spacing, so we're really closer to like 74 and an eighth or so. So that's like right about here, so you can see that's too close to the raised panel and it just wouldn't look good, so that's why we're going to use the flat slab. Okay, so I'm out here in the garage with my door jamb kit, and it comes with a head and 2 legs. And the important thing to note here is that the legs have this rabbet in it to accept the head. So the head fits in here nicely. So you want to make note of where this is, because when you have the jambs, the legs, laying on your bench like this, you might accidentally lose track of where this rabbet is and cut the wrong end. So I like to mark where my cuts are going to be before I start flipping these around. So I'm going to go to the other end of this board and mark an X down there on both sides so I know that's where I'm cutting and I don't accidentally cut this rabbet off, because it's no fun to cut this off and then have to re-rabbet it. So just make note of that. Okay, one more thing to note before you cut your legs for the rough opening is a lot of times these ears are a little proud of the head. So you want to know if it is or isn't before you cut it, so you're not too long or too short. In rare instances, I've seen where these ears are a little short too of the thickness of your head. So just double check that before you go and cut the legs. Now, my rough opening is 75 and an eighth, or 75 and a quarter, so I am going to cut these at 75, and that will give me a 1/4 inch to play with as far as leveling the height. 75 inches, and let's cut them. Okay, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but I'm getting ready to cut my head, and my rough opening is 26 inches, and I want to be a 1/2 inch smaller than that, so that brings me down to 25 and a half. Then the 2 ears on these legs measured together are 11/16, so I want to subtract that as well, so that brings me down to 24 and 13/16 is what I gotta cut this head at. Okay, let's cut this head. Okay, now I'm going to attach my head to my legs with some staples. Okay, I got this scrap plywood here. I am just going to attach this at the bottom so that when I carry this jam down to the basement, it's not flopping all over the place. So just a couple of pin nails. Not there. Going to slide around the camera, hopefully without moving it. Alright, there we go. Okay, I have my slab door set up on the bench with my track saw, and I am going to cut this at 74 and a 16th. The inside dimensions of my door jamb are 74 and like 5/16, so that's going to give me about a 1/4 inch to play with as far as height. Alright, here we go. So this was lucky. I actually had a piece of 5/4 scrap laying around that was already milled to 1 1/8 inches. So all I have to do is mark the length, give it a cut, and glue it in. Okay, a couple of pin nails and we should be good. Okay, I got my door on the table. This is the hinge side over here. This is where it's going to close and latch. Now I'm going to rip the length, or I'm going to rip the width, and this door needs to be 24 inches. My door frame opening is 24 and a quarter, and I want 1/8 of an inch on each side, so I'm going to rip this at 24 exactly. This is about 1/8 over, and I'm ripping it with a bevel on the track saw, like down this way. So when this door closes like this little 5-degree bevel here will keep it from rubbing on the door jamb when it closes. Alright, so let's go to rip. Okay, to lay the hinges out, I have my door spaced up at the head 1/8 inch down. I'm measuring 7 inches down from the top of my door jamb. I'm holding my hinge here and I'm marking the top and the bottom on the jamb and the door, like so. And then I'm doing the same thing at the bottom. Okay, I have the door on its side now, and this is what I meant by saying the door will determine the height of the hinge. So this is a hollow core door. It's got a hardwood laminate on top, a hardwood veneer on the bottom. And when you set the height of your hinge, you really don't want to go past this veneer. So that would mean the hinge has to reside here. And this height is 1 3/16. So that's exactly what I'll do on the jamb too. I'll just go into the jamb 1 3/16. Hope that makes sense. The perils of having a corded router. The cord got snagged and cocked the router, and a little bit, but we'll fix that up with a little wood filler. Alright, so those are mortised in now. So to route out the door, I just made a simple holder out of some scrap 2x4s laying around just to hold the door on edge so I could route it out. And we'll just clean this bit to the line with a chisel. Okay guys, so I forgot to press record when I hung the door, but you didn't miss much really. So when I hang my doors, since this hinge side was pretty dead level already, all I did was put 1/4 inch shims, it's basically 1/4 inch plywood, all the way down the hinge side, finish nailed it in, and then I tacked my jambs to it, checked it again to make sure it was dead level both ways, which it was. And then once I did that, I'm gonna come inside the bathroom real fast. I shimmed the inside with regular conventional, cedar shims. And I just closed the door and, kept the same gap all the way down, shimmed it out as required, conventional shimming there. So that's all I did to hang the door. Now I'm going to trim it out. The top is going to need a rip here because this is only about 1.5 inches. And then I'll do the legs. Okay, I'm just giving this a trim out now. I've already cut all the pieces. They're just sitting here right now. They're not nailed yet. So I'm just gonna test this head. It's gonna slide to the left a little bit. Alright, that's looking good. Tack this. Tack that. Oh, hey there. All done with the door, not in there. So, making your own door jambs, it probably takes 3 or 4 times longer, but sometimes that's what you have to do. But it looks good. I'm happy. I'll trim the inside out after I make the extension jambs, but for now this video is done. See you guys on the next one. Ugh, that was a fail. Fail number 1.